Welcome to my channel. The underrated dog is yours truly. The number one grinder. One of the best kept secrets on YouTube. The best of the business. We're going to get this going. This is the underrated MMA talk number 10. Oh, excuse me, number 10. And before we get to brother George, do I know this person? Do I know this person? Oh, this is family right here. Introduce yourself and welcome back. Hello? Hello? You on
Hello?
XA Got? Yeah, XA Got you. You on?
Oh, I wasn't sure because I thought you was talking to George Page. But
Nah, that's
like,
I would introduce yourself again. So welcome back, family.
Welcome back.
well, like I said, I just want to say thank you guys for having this sport to me. Like I said, I've been gone for a while because I got in trouble by YouTube because I did something I wasn't supposed to. But um, I'm not really going to talk about it because this is not the channel
Nah,
that
Yeah.
here to talk about it. But like I said, I'm just glad to be back with you guys to talk some MMA. Like I said,
yeah,
Yeah.
let's get going. So,
You do this
yeah.
when a brother come home from prison. Welcome back, nigga. You know,
Welcome back, nigga. Welcome back, nigga.
welcome
Welcome back,
back.
nigga.
Yeah.
You,
Hold
you,
you to
you,
soup.
that's right. You better never come back. Take my belt off.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
all jokes
You're
aside,
back
welcome.
outside in the world, man. You're back in the world.
Yeah, but welcome back, though.
Yeah, yeah, man.
You're welcome back, man, because he was one of the few brothers before with George told me that I need to talk about MMA on my channel. And I really appreciate that. And we just want to let you know we miss your presence and everything. And so crazy about this, what's so ironic, you come to the underrated MMA Talk 10. So it works out,
Just in
everybody.
time.
Yeah, let's get it going. Oh yeah, and brother Watcher said he just texted me. He just emailed me brother I got you he said he would be here a little late, so he said he would be here a little late. He would be here. So now let's get the MMA. Now we gonna start from you, brother, because you've been missing out of commission. What fights that? Hold that thought. Let me read this. Come enjoy a real conversation with the number one grinder. Us as the righteous ones, individually. Let's make a change within ourselves and generally being there for each other. We all we got. Remember that we all we got. Thank you, Tom Malone. He said I did a double header. Yeah, he talked about he did because I did a live earlier. So yeah, so let's get the MMA. Got some great fights happening. We gonna we're getting the SA gotcha. Then we'll hit brother George Reyes. What you like about it?
are we talking about last night's event?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I'm going to say this though. The prelims for UFC 261 was pretty good. I liked it, and like I said, when we jumped to the main event, we had a couple stinkers on the main event. I can't remember off the head, but there was this two against these two featherweights. That was a stinker for 15 minutes, and then we had what's his name, Tony Ferguson and Benil Dariush. A lot of people expected that fight to be a war, but then it ends up being a stinker. But there was also a fight on the card that I really did. It was one of my favorite fights, and it ended in a bizarre knockout. You guys know what I'm talking about because I'm getting to that point right now.
Mm-hmm.
Was It was Shane Bracos versus Edson Barboza. Awesome fight between both guys. Those guys were just going at it. Both guys stunned each other, hurted each other, and then I believe it was. I'm trying to refresh my memory, I think it was the second round. Edson Barboza hits Shane Burgos with the overright, which hit him right on the top of his tempo, right? Shane Burgos, he had his poker face. I thought that he was going to get back into the fight. So, like I said, like say like 5 seconds, he had a 5 seconds delay, then his body started collapsing, he started to go back, and then he face planted, and I was like, oh shoot, because that's the first time something like that has happened in the UFC, and a lot of people was like getting a lot of scared, like, is he okay? And then, like I said, Edson Barboza, he ends up hitting Shane Bracos when he was down, when he was already out, which I think that fight should have been stopped when his whole body just like went out. But like I said, that fight was pretty good. But I was actually scared for Shane Bracos because, like I said, that's the first time we saw something like that occur in the UFC, and you could see it right on Dana White's. When I saw Dana White, right, you could see the concern. He was like, "Oh shit, did that really just happen?" But yeah, like I said, it's good to see that Shane Bragos is okay. But like I said, moments like that, man, you got to get a little concerned in the UFC because, like I said, these guys, we talked about this before, that these guys, they don't get paid enough money. You know what I mean? And like I said, to see moments like that happen in UFC, a lot of people was getting concerned. And also, my second favorite fight on the card was No Brainer, the main event. You know, a lot of people was counting out Charles Oliveira, you know, because like I said, everybody was on the hype train of Michael Chandler. Like I said, I like Chandler, but see, the thing that I did not like was that the UFC basically, they didn't build him up. They didn't build him up at all. You know, they was trying to rush him because, you know, Chandler, he's this All-American, you know, and like at this time though, the UFC, they have no stars. So the UFC was riding the coattail of Michael Chandler. But like I said, a lot of people was counting out Charles Oliveira, which I was not, because I said Charles Oliveira has been in the UFC since 2014, you know. And as I was watching Charles Oliveira build up, I said, this guy's going to be a future championship. And he showed it last night, you know, because there was 2 times in that fight that Charles Oliveira could have quit. Because if you remember back in 2004, when Charles Oliveira, when he gets like hurt, he would just quit. But like I saw 2 things that I saw in that fight. I saw a championship heart, and I saw the man who wanted to win that fight. Like I said, he had Michael Chandler had Charles Oliveira in a guillotine choke. You know, he came through, and there was a point where Michael Chandler stunned and dropped Charles Oliveira, and he came back and he won the fight, man. You know what I mean? So like I said, I'm happy that Charles Oliveira has won the belt, man. He deserved it because, like I said, he's been in the UFC since 2014. Like I said, he started off as a BJJ guy. Now you can see that he has hands, man. And I believe that he's actually going to be a problem for anybody that's going to fight him, man. But like I said, the prelims was pretty good. You know, we had some little bit lackluster fights on the card, but like I said, the main event and Shane Bragos fight made up was on the main card. But like I said, it was just an awesome night, man. And like I said, I'm happy to see that we are starting now to overcome the pandemic now. So now we start to see fans back in the octagon, man. And that's what the UFC was missing, was the uproar from the fans, man. But like I said, man, it was a good card, man. Like I said, I can't wait to. I believe there's a card next week, and I don't remember who's on it, but yeah, man, it's good to see that the UFC and their fans are all back together, man. And like I said, I hope to see more good fights coming out, man.
Okay, good. And we're going to let you know. Welcome back, brother. Welcome back.
Thank you, brother Underated Darkness.
All right, brother. All right, George. Get at it.
Okay, well, X mostly about the guys, and that's a good thing because he's a little more close. But as you know, we got to keep up with WMA, and the big thing was there were some fights were kind of 2 fights I would say was considered a letdown. One fight I didn't really pay attention to, but it was kind of surprising. That was Basilia Kachev versus Gina Mazzani. Now this fight went 2 rounds, and if everybody know about Zombie Girl, Priscilla Cachoeira, she fought Valentina Shevchenko about 3 years ago when she was coming up for a shot for the in the flyweight division. That was she was a stepping stone for Valentina's step to become the champion. And like I said, I didn't see the fight, but from the clips I've seen here and there, she really put a welling on Gina Mazzani. Now, Gina Mazzani used to fight in 135, and she didn't do too good. She had a losing record. I think her last fight it's been a while, and then she went she dropped down to 125. And this fight, she was just getting clobbered by Priscilla around about the towards almost to the end of the second round, and and the referee had to stop it. I mean, she was running away. Priscilla was just throwing lefts. She was throwing rights, and then maybe a couple lefts. And what she should have done was just went left, right, left, right, left, right. She was a little too right heavy from what him from a lot of like from the coach mentioned, some other analysts mentioned. And one thing is also Brazil has left her camp, the same gym that the Andrade fought in. So I think this probably helped her because that may help her evolve a little, but she still has some issues. And the next fight is Antonina Shevchenko versus KKK Lee. Oh, excuse me if I offend you by saying that. Yes, I know what she is, and her name is KGB Lee. But we all know the story about her situation. And she was up against Antonina Shevchenko, as I said before, and I was kind of just disappointed. I just felt like I thought there was going to be, Antonina's fight to win. I mean, Andrew, Andrew Lee lost to, Lauren Murphy. She has lost to Roxanne Amara Ferry. I mean, even though Roxanne has beat her in the past, that's one thing. But then Lauren Murphy, and then she's fights for UFC, got into the UFC, and this was a possible do or die fight for her. So and with this fight, I think with Antonina, she was, she has some issues with Antonina. She needs to work on some things. And one point is they were going in the clinch, and Antonina used a Muay Thai. She used the Muay Thai clinch and hitting, Andrea with the knees, and that's a good thing. But then what happened was that Andrea got Antonina on the ground and tapped her out with an arm bar, and then boom, she raised. Now Antonina has a stay execution. She won't be. I think maybe if she did lost this fight, she probably would have cut because now she wears the cowboy hat. She's the new female cowboy Cerrone. That's what she is. They'll keep her till she if she starts losing, then they'll probably cut her. And then kind of like I would say it's more like the women's version of the women event you might would say is Caitlin Chikagian, the blonde fighter, versus Viviana Arroyo. And Viviana's been coming up. She beat Roxanne Modafferi. She's a young upcoming fighter from Brazil. And we all know, if you know anything about Caitlin, she was also against Valentina Shevchenko, and Valentina beat her with the same crucifix style that she beat Jessica Andrade. And then she loses, and Jessica Andrade knocks her out with a body shot. And then she had a last fight. I think she beat who she beat? I think she beat she beat Kelly she beat Cynthia Calvillo. That's what she beat. And then this was a possible shot that if she didn't win this fight, she can go ahead and go home and start her family once. But what it was that happened too often with a lot of these Brazilian fights, Viviana started gas out. And that's the problem. She might have too much muscle mass. Even though she looks kind of lean, she is kind of muscle for her size. And just the fight went pretty much the distance. But what it was, the judges called it a unanimous decision, where if you really look at it, the fight more like it could have been a split decision. But like I said, because we all know Caitlin's name is the blonde fighter, and that's who's getting the push, the blonde fighter. But she's not. I mean, even if she gets two more fights on her belt, she's not worth for a title shot. She don't have the skill or the ability. She's just all lanky, ain't worth sense. Just there because she's just like she's going to be like the equivalent of the 125 version of Holly Holmes, pretty little blonde girl who's there just to get beat up.
So true. That's so true, man.
Okay, gotcha. Let's welcome Brother Watcher from Down Under. How you
Watcher?
What's up, people? How we doing?
Yeah.
Before Brother Watcher gets into it, we're gonna call ourselves the Four Horsemen of the MMA because we're all back together.
Yeah. The four real ones of MMA. Four horsemen. Okay, yeah, I like that. Y'all put me into this. Thank you, very much appreciated. I'm touched. Let me take the feelings out.
Somebody has to be war. Somebody has to be pestilent. Somebody has to be death, and the other one has to be what's the other? What's the death? Famine. So since I'm fat, I'll be famine.
Okay, yeah, we you know what? I'll do what I did. We gonna figure this out along the way of this live. How about that?
Yeah, that's cool.
We figure it out. Brother Watcher, what you got on this weekend? I know you got a lot, bro.
Oh man, what an event!
Yes.
You know, I couldn't watch it live. I had some personal stuff to do, but I watched it back. The first thing that caught my eye was the Jacare Souza fight. Yeah, that guy's been done for a long time. I mean, I think since the Hermanson fight in 2019, he's been done. You know, I'm not sure what Dana wants. You know, he keeps a lot of guys that are washed up for a real long period of time. And it's not like they've been putting good performances or exciting fights on. Like, he got his arm snapped. His arm is broken now. And, you know, he got it snapped by someone that wasn't really at that level of MMA. I mean, yeah, their jiu-jitsu was lethal, but, I mean, his arm snapped. And, like, he's a jiu-jitsu guy as well. You know, if he tries that again, it could be worse, man. You know, so for me, Jacare, he needs to sit down. You know, he really does. I mean, he even fought Jan Blachowicz at light heavyweight a couple of years back because middleweight was too hard to make, and then that's kind of a discipline issue as well. You know, because I remember Jacare, he said he was a killer. You know, he was real good, but man, he is done. He is done. You know, you know, his body just will not listen to him. It's like with Tony Ferguson a bit. You know, I don't want to skip ahead of too much though. You know, because you know, it was a pretty good card. You know, I liked it.
Yeah, we gonna get to all that and everything though too. We gonna skip the light though. So okay, we talk about we gonna throw it at Escotcha 23. Then we gonna go at Brother Watcher, and then last one at James. We gonna keep it going like that. We'll switch it up.
Well, because I want to
Then
ask Brother Watcher. I want to ask him what is your
go ahead,
thoughts
go
on
ahead.
that? What is your thoughts on the Shane Burgos and Edson Barboza bizarre KO?
Oh, that's crazy, that KO. I mean, that right hand landed, and then like it was like something out of a movie or something. Like it's like he crawled right back to the cage, and he just froze. That was really bad. Something could have gone really wrong, but I'm glad it didn't. You know, and then those two follow-up shots were bad as well. You know, because he could have really done some damage. I saw Dana White stand up out of his seat because he didn't know what the heck was going on. Which I find it funny when Dana reacts to fights like that because you don't always see that from him. But, you know, Shane Burgos, he gets hit too much. He gets hit way too much, you know, and you cannot get hit by that volume from a guy like Barboza because he just hits too hard. You know, that right hand landed in the perfect spot, and that reaction was scary. It really was.
Okay,
Yeah.
go. I'm sorry. Anything you want to say before we go to the next match?
Well, yeah, because like I said, now that's that question that everybody wants to know now. What's next for Tony Ferguson? You know, because like I said, now he's on a 3-fight losing streak. You know, everybody's saying, what's next for him? You know, a lot of people are saying retirement. He should go and do something else. I want to hear your brother's perspective. What do you guys think is next for Tony Ferguson? Because like I said, I was the biggest fan of Tony Ferguson, you know, but like I say, now seeing him losing 3 fights in a row, you know, we all have that concern now. What's next for him? What should he do now?
Well, yeah, that's what.
Because like I said, he's not younger. He's up there in age, man. You know, and we all want to know what is next for him. You know.
Yeah, that's what I was getting. That's what I want to ask anyway. And I wait for last and because that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to start it from you. Then after you, then the Watcher, and then George. But you already answered it, right? So what do you think that we do decision he should make?
Well, to tell you
Um,
what I think he should do, um, it all depends on his next fight. It all depends on who they give him. Like I said, because from what I saw last night, that's not the Tony Ferguson that was on the 12th fight on winning streak. You know, before the what's his name? I can't remember the guy's name. Justin Gagey. Because what I saw last night, I saw Tony Ferguson. He was gun shy. You know, he was afraid to go forward. He was afraid to attack. You know, he was afraid to scramble because before when Tony Ferguson gets taken down, he always scrambled. For what I saw last night, man, I said this guy's gun shy, and I say to myself, yeah, I think it's time for Tony to hang it up. But you also get that thing though when fighters when they lose like 3 times in a row, they say, "Oh, I don't know what to do next. I don't know what to do next." You know, but then you see, you like for example, you see what's going on with Donald Cerrone because I bring him up. You know, Cerrone he has lost 5 times. I think he lost 5 out of 6 of his last fight. No, yeah, 5 out of 6 of his last fights. And like I said, they was asking him, "What are you gonna do next?" And Cerrone's like, "I don't know. I don't know." You know, there's always that thing when it comes to fighters, you know, like when they lose 5 times in a row, they don't want to give you that answer that they want to quit. You know, they always have that question like, should I go? Should I go? But like I said, for us as fans, we have concern for these fighters because, like I said, we don't want to see these fighters get hurt, you know, and that's why I say to myself, I think that Tony Ferguson should hang it up because, like I said, the sport is evolving, you know, the sport is evolving. A lot of these guys are getting a lot better, you know, and like I said, it's to the point that now people start to like figure out Tony Ferguson's weakness, and that is that Tony Ferguson doesn't really have good takedown. He doesn't have really takedown, and that's why to me, I'm glad that the Khabib fight did not happen because, damn, Khabib would have had killed Tony Ferguson if they had fought, man. But
Yeah.
like I said, what I saw last night, I saw a man who didn't want to be there anymore, man. It's just very sad, and I think for the bottom line, I think Tony should hang it up. So I want to hear what you guys got to say about this, man.
Okay, good. Okay, after you, brother Watcher, then George, then I do my assessment. Then we will keep it pushing.
Well, you know, I haven't looked at the whole fight. I saw some highlights and I heard a lot of things, but he's done. And after he lost to Gaethje, you know, it was, the camp was like this. We didn't prepare properly. It was late notice. Then with the Oliveira fight, you know, he didn't get good training. He fired his corner team. And I've not heard what the next thing is about this one, but like I said, the Gaethje one was a beating, okay?
Right.
Oliveira almost snapped this man in half, and that was an easy fight for Oliveira. You know, if anything, I thought Oliveira did a better job than Gaethje because, you know, Gaethje, he almost got finished in that fight. You know, he was taking a lot, whereas Oliveira kind of went in there, imposed his will, and just put this man in a position where he almost made him tap. He almost broke his damn arm. And then you got Dariush. Now, Dariush, to me, I'm not high on him. You know, I don't think he's all that. You know, I actually think he needs 1 or 2 more. You know, maybe 1 more just to kind of see where he's at. But I give him credit for the win and how he's able to control Tony. And, you know, he looked unscathed after that fight from what I saw in the post-fight. But Tony is like 37 now, right? And guys that are in these lower weights, they don't do as good when they get older. Especially if you look at a guy like Tony. You know, he's taken a lot of damage in his career. I mean, even the Anthony Pettis fight, you know, he was almost gone there. You know, he got dropped hard in that fight. You know, he's bleeding. You know, the Gaethje fight and then the fights beforehand. You know, he's made a lot of money in his career. You know, he was an interim champ, which is an achievement of some sort. And he's had some good streaks, you know, wins. But I think now it's time. I don't see, if you can't beat a guy that's just inside the top 10, I don't think he'll really be doing much with anyone else, you know.
Okay. Right, brother George. Your assessment, please.
Well, like I said, I didn't really watch the fight, but from what I'm heard for it, Tony is it's a curse of anybody who goes on tough. You know, like look at Rashad Evans, Forrest Griffin, the list of guys and other competitors who done tough. You know, with exception with some of the women, but generally anybody who does tough is just usually don't last long. They get all this praise. They win on a pretty much a reality show, and generally, it's the curse of reality shows. Like you ever watch the housewife shows or other shows, they usually their marriages don't last long. They get divorced, they break up, something like that. And Tony, he had a lot of confidence. I remember he had an argument with Fabricio Verdun one time. This was like about 2 or 3 years ago. I think it was one of the pay-per-views they're about to have, or one of the fight nights, I forgot. He was sitting there just arguing with him, and then Verdun walked away. He said, "Bye, Felicia," and he had confidence back then. But now he's getting older. He's after that Gaethje fight, he just got torn up. Then Khabib, forget about Khabib, and he couldn't fight someone like McGregor either. I mean, I think he really should consider what his future is going to be. I mean, he can, he probably how many fights in the contract. You know how it is. Dana White, like I said, he'll keep fighting because they put up a good fight or he likes some Jeremy. I mean, if Dana White likes you, if he generally likes you, he'll keep you. Or if you do whatever you do, if you do you do a favor for him, like how Cabo Cerrone took a dive with Conor McGregor. He paid him with that, or how some other fighters who have done things in a way, for the company, they get these favors like, hey, we'll keep you for a little longer, and like I've seen fighters who have been on who have been no more than a 2 to 3 fight losing streak and get cut. And there's fighters that's been on like a 4 fight losing streak, and still, like Cabo Cerrone's been on like pretty much a four fight losing streak. Teacher Torres was on a 4 fight losing streak. I mean, there's been look at Allison. It finally dropped Allison Overeem, but he was on practically how many? I think Rochester. He was on a 3 fight losing streak by the time he won his last fight.
Now he beat Sakai and then he lost to Volkov.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wasn't he on a win streak before his loss? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 2 in a row, I think, and then lost.
Yeah. That's why it was
And that's the thing with Tony. If he can pop a win out of this losing streak, I think they'll keep him one fight. I think he should really think about we talked about this on, as we talked about this before. Coach talked about this, that maybe he should become a trainer, or judging how bad judging is in MMA, maybe should about being a judge. All you got to do is take a course. Take too long. He gets paid. You don't have to wear himself out. He don't have to be a man. He don't have to be, by the time he's 50 years old, be a man of 80.
Well, like I said, you got to ask that question. It's up to the fighters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's up to the fighter if they want to walk away, man. And that's the sad part, when you still see fighters who lose 5 fights in a row, and then they don't want to tell people that they want to hang it up. So, but like I said, it's up to the fighter, man. But for my exception, I want to see Tony retired. I just want to see him retired because I'm worried about his health, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My assessment is just that it's torn because he's been an okay fight for a long time. But I say this, that what I seen, I feel that he should retire. I like the George. I would say this, that he should be a judge. I think he should be a trainer. I think he'll make a pretty good trainer. But like each of y'all said, it's gotta be up to the fight. I don't want to see him fight. They told him a Khabib, no. That's like, when he walking out octagon, what's gonna happen. I don't want nothing to happen to him. I really don't. Finding transition, I think he would be a great trainer. I really believe that. He have the knowledge and everything. I just want to put the best for him, but like I say, she is saying Young is up to the fight, but I want him to go. Just leave. You know, to me, I may sound blunt, but just leave and just be a trainer. Okay, glad we got that out the way. Next match, please. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna start from Watcher, George, and Escacha.
Are we talking about the main event?
Yes.
Okay, good. Wow. What a freaking fight that was. That is round of the year for me. Oh man, it was crazy. Like, I can't believe. So, like, you know, both guys met in the middle, and then Oliveira took that position just a little bit more, and then he went for a takedown, and then Chandler goes for a guillotine, and it was pretty tight. But I knew that Oliveira could get out of it because, you know, he knows that position probably better than anyone else on the roster. So then he was controlling there for a bit, and then Chandler freaking gets up and reverses the position. He gets to his feet, and he's kicking, and then they stand up, and then Chandler almost had him out of there, man. Like, the way he was landing those punches, like, you thought Oliveira was out. But the thing about Oliveira is he knows what to do in bad situations and bad positions. And he was very smart to turn to his back and kind of just make Chandler, you know, smother himself a bit and pull him into the guard. And then as soon as that second round starts, it's like he's brand new. You know, he throws the 2 and the 3 behind it, and then he ends up stopping Chandler. And it was a great fight. You know, I thought both guys performed at the highest level. I think there's a lot of other guys in the top 5 and top 10 that wouldn't have survived that, what those two brought in that round. You know, Chandler made the mistake of not being all out when he hit the body shot. He stepped out, but he didn't do it enough. And then Oliveira, man, he cracks hard. You know, people look at his ground game, but, you know, he's that long ectomorph type where if he lands clean and with good technique, he'll put you out or he'll really hurt you bad. I do feel like Oliveira is really well deserving it. It's very heartwarming because, you know, since 2010 he's been in the UFC and he's had like all these losses and, you know, he's been through all these trials and tribulations, and then he's just improved, really. You know, not just with his skill set, but mentally as well. You know, I'm really glad he's the champ. And, you know, he's one hell of a fighter, him. And all respect to Chandler as well. He's definitely up there, you know. I am just thinking that, you know, people. I'll make this point later. I'll let the next person go.
Well, let me just say this though. I thought he started.
No, I want to say you for that, brother George. Go ahead, and then I'll get you. Okay.
Well, I didn't really watch the fight per se, but what I hear about Chandler, you know, Chandler originally came for Bellator, and you know, rarely does Dana ever recruit from somebody from Bellator. He just recruited another fighter from Bellator just maybe a few days ago, and I think the thing was they try and push him as the next. Best way to say sign quotes the great white hype, and that's what he was. He was a great white hype. And Oliveira, you know, great for him. You know, he won the championship. He probably deserved it. He's been there for a good while. You know, he fought some pretty tough opponents, and now he's a champion. So, you know, and I think that championship was vacated, right? Or because I know Conor was the champion. He vacated it. I think they stripped it away from. Did they strip this from somebody, or was it vacated?
It was vacated.
Okay, so you know,
to be vacated.
Yeah. Oh, that's a lightweight championship.
Yeah, he vacated about after he beat Justin Gaethje.
Oh, okay. So now they probably what they want to do is they're gonna probably try to push. If you know, Khabib, he's a man of his word. You know, he's like the Joker. I'm a man of my word. He don't want to come back because he made a promise to his mother. But they're gonna try to throw some money at him to come back and fight Oliveira for the title. But you know, he don't want to come back. He fought his fight. He beat Justin Gaethje. He was done. You know, if his father was still alive, I think Khabib would still be fighting. But his father died, and his mother said, she needed him. You know, because he became head of the family. I think he was the oldest son. But now, they're going now that Oliveira has a sign on his back. I think he's going to have a lot of people come after him. I think they're probably going to try to push maybe Justin Gaethje, another shot at the title. Whoever else is on the lightweight division coming up, you might see now that they have somebody who looks like more of an easy target compared to Khabib. You're going to see a lot of people biting a shot for that title now, since Khabib gave it up. So that's true. That's all I can say.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
Well, like I said, I just want to apologize because I thought Charles Oliveira started in the UFC 2014, but the brother Watcher said he started in 2010. So I want to apologize about that. But like I said, though, I'm happy that Charles Oliveira won the belt. Like I said, the guy started just being a BJJ, and like I said, it over the course of watching him grow, man. Like I said, when Charles Oliveira, like I said in what I said early on, that when Charles Oliveira, when he gets hurt, he will quit. But like I said, what I saw last night, I saw a champion. I saw a championship heart, because that was the old Charles Oliveira, he would have quit. But what I saw last night was a champion. He came back from adversity twice. He, like I said, he defended the guillotine. And like I said, he got dropped by Chandler. He came back. He came back and he stunned Chandler and he won the belt. And like I said, I'm happy to see guys like that who've been in the company for a while work their way up to become champion. And like I said, for Chandler, like I said, I like Chandler, but I just think that they rushed him. You know what I mean? They rushed him because, like you brothers were saying, he was the American White Hope. That's what Dana wanted, because right now Dana White don't have no big stars right now. Because Conor McGregor is on his last leg. Because, like I said, if he loses to Dustin Poirier, which I think Dustin Poirier is going to beat Conor McGregor, then, like I said, there is nobody. And like I said, last night Dana White was having his he wanted Chandler to win, but like I said, Charles Oliveira, he prevailed, man, and he stopped Chandler's hype train. Like I said, I'm just happy that Oliveira put in so much work to win the belt, man. But as for Chandler, though, like I said, I like Chandler, but they should have just built him up from the start. But I understand, though, Dana White is really looking for that star to push the UFC up. But like I said, they should have just built him from the start, man. Let him start from the bottom. But like I said, since he, if I remember, he stopped it Dan Hooker. That shit was all around the world, and everybody's like, "Oh, he should fight for the title. He should fight for the title." But like I said, they should have just built Channel up from the ground up, man. You know what I mean? But like I said, I'm happy that Charles Oliveira came and then he won the belt, man. It's good to see guys like that who work so hard in the company to accomplish their goal to become champion. Now, I wish that they would have paid him more, but it's Dana White. We talked about this so many times. When it comes to fighters who don't get paid, but that's just my assumption.
Yeah,
good fight though. Good fight though. Like I said, good fight though. I loved it though. I love that main event, man. Good fight though. Good fight.
Yeah, before we continue the other match, I gotta say that this is the same Dana. I said Dana the devil. Cut fighters that are champions. You cut a person as champion. Really. So he cannot be trusted. Okay, the next match, please. And then what we're going to do, we're going to start from George, Esgacha, and Brother Watch.
Now, what was the next match?
What fight are you talking about, Andre?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the co-main event? Are you talking about the
co-main event? I'm talking about.
I didn't see it. I can't. Just
okay. So we go. All right. This is what we gonna do. We go. All right. Okay. So we gonna start from you, Esgacha, and watching it.
Well, because like I said, the co-main event was the co-main event was Tony Ferguson and the Neil Dariush though. Like I said,
Yeah, we
I wasn't really a big fan of that fight because this is Dearnine Eustace's chance to make a splash because you're going into the top five now. You're going to the top five now. You have to make a statement. That's just me. I know a lot of people say he did the right thing to win the fight, but like I said, you're jumping into the top five now. You got to make a statement. You got to let these guys know, say, I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm coming for that belt. And
Mhm.
to me, I just felt like this is just me though. I felt like he played it safe though. He played it safe though. You know, but like I said, if you're gonna jump into the top five, you got to make a statement, man. You got to let these guys know. They said, "Excuse my language, but motherfucker, I'm coming for that belt, man." I'm coming for that belt. But like I said, he did what he had to do to win. But like I said, man, you got to make a statement, man. When you jumping into the top five, you got to let these motherfuckers know that I'm coming for the belt.
He played it very safe, and in my opinion, he's food. Now he's food. I feel like he was so focused on. I mean, I don't even know when the hell Dariush became a takedown specialist, but Tony made it easy for him. And I find it funny because look, I know age is a factor, but with Tony, it's like, look, he knows how to defend takedowns. Like he knows how to do that, and he's fought at welterweight before. He started his career at welterweight, so it's not as if like he should be really getting manhandled by guys that are barely in the top 10. But for me, it's like, I don't know. I think the will is gone, and he almost got submitted in that fight as well. For a guy that claims that he would have submitted Khabib, and like that fight is, I'm okay with that not happening because I feel like people put that as a thing of fights that we could have seen, fantasy fights. Well, Khabib would have killed the guy, it wouldn't have worked out. And again, I believe there are people better than Tony that would have probably given Khabib a really hard time or even beat him, like the two guys that competed last night. They're better than Tony, in my opinion. Now, Chandler, he's a bit more green within the UFC, but remember, Poirier went back and forth with Hooker. Chandler got that done in like 3 minutes, so that's just something to consider. And, even Oliveira, he was, before like the press conference face-offs, he was giving Tony a hug and he was saying, let's get the victory tomorrow. Let's get it done. And I just feel like between Dariush and the rest of the lightweights, he is food. I don't think he missed weight as well. He missed weight and then he had to take the hour to get rid of it. And he almost missed weight again. So he made some stupid. I heard about the post-fight interview. He's making comments about other stuff that wasn't even related to fighting. Like, you this is your chance to now put yourself on that platform, and you're talking about stuff like that. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm actually really glad Oliveira is champ because some of these other guys, man, they were never worthy in the first place. They really weren't.
Okay, anything else?
Not that I can think of. Well, maybe we could. What we could talk about the because I saw a couple clips from the post fight conference, right? Dana White. I guess somebody asked him about. Well, because I'm gonna shift over to a little bit of boxing. Somebody asked him about the Driller. You guys know what Driller is, right? So because, like I said, from what I was reading, from the clip, that I guess Driller now are trying to get Oscar De La Hoya to fight GSP. And, I'm not too sure. Like I said, I'm not too sure if GSP is still under contract with the UFC. But from what I heard, I heard that Dana White blocked the fight. He blocked the fight. So, but from what I heard, Dana White, he was pissed off at the post-fight conference because Driller is just pretty much Driller is just clout chasing off the UFC name, because you all know nobody ain't really talking about Driller and Jake Paul. Let's be honest, nobody's not even talking about Driller. But like I said, the Driller is just they're just clout chasing off the UFC, just trying to get just trying to get some few people to talk about the reality, nobody ain't even talking about Driller. But I want to hear what do you guys think about that? That Driller is trying to clout chase off the UFC, man, in their name, man. You know what I mean? They're trying to get these MMA fighters to come over to make money. But like I said, Dana White said it that he said something that stuck out. He said, if I remember correctly, he said that Oscar and Hoyer said, "Oh, if you come over to boxing, you can make more money." But then Dana White debunked that by saying that, well, remember when Chuck Liddell came over to boxing, and then he only made $200K. So we all know, like I said, we all know that they all just lying, man. They just trying to bring these MMA fighters over just for just trying to get people to talk about it. But I want to hear what you guys think about that. That shit was very crazy when I saw that yesterday.
Well, we all know what kind of person Dana White is. We all know about pantyhose De La Hoyas. Hey, you don't invite Oscar to your house, and make sure you check all your kitchen utensils when you leave. But it's just some of these MMA fighters. You got to think about it. If it's opportunity, if they offer them maybe, let's say, $500,000 to fight Jake Paul, there'll probably somebody who will take it, especially if they're not signed to UFC anymore. Like Tyron Woodley just got let go. I think a couple other fighters got let go. There's some fighters in Bellator that got let go some time ago. If they're not names, they may not get them, but if they can get somebody in there in that ring with Jake Paul, they will. And Dana White, he was, one time Dana was talking about trying to do his own boxing, for a while. But the thing is that the old boxing heads don't like him because they don't like MMA. They don't think MMA. They consider is a trash sport. They don't really see it as a real sport in their mindset. And then they got to understand that. These guys are getting paid unless you're not Khabib, if you're not McConnell, if you're not John Jones, if you're not even Amanda Nunes, you're not getting paid the top billing.
Yeah.
And these guys, most of these guys, even right now, the guy who just got the championship, who just got the lightweight championship, he's not gonna get some good money. If the opportunity comes where hey. Oliveira, hey, if you want to come over here and fight Jake Paul for maybe $500,000, he can think about it. Maybe not. But that's up to him what he want to do. But like I said, if some of these other guys who are not contract anymore, who sees the opportunity to make some big money, you got guys who are going to run over to bare knuckle fighting now because the money just get over there just as well as he with the boxing.
No, but I do want to ask this question, and I ain't mean to skip. I be hearing lately how the sports fan do not respect MMA. They don't respect that. I mean, these are the fans like years ago that follows it, but right now they really, really trash it.
What?
And I want to George, I want to get at you. And I want to get a watcher and brother Ed Scotcher because I should have asked that last week, but in a way it wasn't meant for me to ask it. But I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask this week. Go ahead.
I think the problem is that the original sport originally was more like a kumite almost. Everybody, anything goes. But then when they clean the sport up, put in the rules, put in weight classes, I think some people, it took away the viciousness of it. And then you have the hardcore boxing fans, they don't like it. Remember, I made that comment when I remember B-Hop, he said he called it gay sex because they rolled around on the mat and just hugging each other. But it's just that people just now. I think one thing is also is it's just the mindset of people. There's this tribal mentality of it. As you know, it was originally mostly, I think, a lot of white people see it as a way, as as a sport that they want to be theirs. And then I think it's pushing out a lot of people who generally like to enjoy, like I think a lot of racism and other stuff is pushing a lot of people generally like just watching good competitors fighting, and then too much politics then also. And that's what I think that's what's probably hurting it also. But boxing is about the same too.
Okay. Brother Watcher.
He probably stepped away.
You go ahead then.
Well, like I said, I agree with what Brother George said. It's mostly politics now. It's what's jumping into the UFC now. Because, like I said, back in the day, though, it was a sport that everybody loved. But now, like I said, you're starting to get all these people from politics jumping into the sport. You have all these races. Like before, man, for example, the brother Usman, because we all know the UFC is a white sport. And we all know that people hate to see brothers dominate the sport because in boxing, black fighters take over the sport. Take over the sport in boxing. And I remember reading that somebody was saying that, the UFC is a white person sport. But like I say, but now you can clearly see that brothers like us are now dominating the sport. And that's why you start to see a lot of fans not like Usman, you know what I mean? Because he's black, he's dominant, and that's what they hate to see. They hate to see brothers dominate a sport that they love. But like I said, like what Brother George said, it's just politics, man. It's not really like it's sport, but like I said, it's just people just hate this. People just hate to see. They just hate to see us dominate the sport, man. I don't know. Yeah.
And you know what though, and I think I can say it's disturbing, but it's frustrating that you got the old media. I ain't gonna talk about boxing because I talk boxing not talk about on my channel. But it seems like the old media, they know what's going on, they know it's surfacing, and they refuse to not to say nothing about it. They don't want. It's like I said, it's like no, that means I'm lying. They just turn their head. They know it's right there. It's like to me, it seems like to me they are scared.
So
well,
true.
like I said, if you look at it, like I said, who's dominate? Like I said, if you look at it right now, who's dominate the UFC? Black fighters. We had three black championship from the motherland. Israel. We have Francis, and we have Usman. And they are the most top fight. They are the most top championship right now. If you look at it, a lot of people talked about Izzy, Francis, and Usman. And like I said, that's what politics hate. They hate to see us dominate the sport, and that's why a lot of these, like I said, these UFC fans get upset when they see Usman like knock out. Like for example, he knocked out what was that guy's name? The Jorge Masvidal last month.
Jokic.
Yeah, he knocked out him, and then he knocked out the other guy, Kobe. He knocked out two racist guys back to back. And everybody was hating at him. But like I said, man, it's just politics in the UFC, man. It's just it sucks, man. But they just gonna have to. They're just gonna have to.
And
face
the thing
fact.
is, like,
well, like I said, they just gotta face the
like
fact.
say
He has black. Go ahead, George. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You go ahead and finish.
No, it's okay, bro. You can finish it.
I won't say, like I said, I won't call Usman, Israel, and they are black color, but they are African. They are from the motherland. We here in America, we are black. We're the ones we lost connection with Africa a long time ago. And I think this is the reason why I think they hate them more because they are African. And I think that's why we love them, because it's like they have that connection to the motherland. They came from there, and it's just that we lost so much of that for so many, because of slavery and because of this country's prejudice and just its cruelty, and and just seeing these three men from the motherland coming here and just becoming dominant champions. And even though Israel lost his fight to Blackowitz, whatever his name, Polish dude, he was fighting out of his weight class. And then Usman getting booed because what it was that he was fighting in Florida, and that's where where George Masvidal is from. He's from Florida, and with Francis, he had to really build his way up. That first fight with Miocic, he made some mistakes. I think he was still a bit green. It took him some time to get to a point where he was just where he was a better fighter. And working with Usman and then working with other people, he became a great fighter. And also, you can't forget about even though he got his championship by disqualification, he is champion. He like Ridley said, a win is a win, be it a yard or a mile, and that is ultimately Sterling. And he has a championship. And that dude, Patreon, he don't deserve a shadow shot. He cheated. He cheated. He was winning the fight. He was winning, and the man was down, and he hit him with a knee, and he was winning the fight, and he just gave up. He gave up his title. He don't deserve another shot, and people are on Aljamain's back because he could have kept on fighting. Wait a minute. If you ever been hit by somebody, especially by a knee, charging at your head, you're not gonna really. I mean, if you're not no fighter or never been in a fight, you don't know. Excuse my language, gentlemen. You don't know shit. So don't be saying. Well, he. No. Get in that octagon, fight somebody, and see what happens to you if they come at you charging and hit you with a knee while you're just barely getting off the floor. And tell me, do you have enough time to get up? Do you have enough time to recover? No one's acting there. Now, only person I saw acting was that chick that fought Randa Marcos. She was acting. I remember she's sitting on her stool saying, "Did I win?" How often have you ever heard of somebody when even in a real fight ask did they win? When they know they get hit like that. That was play acting. She was play acting.
Okay, hey, brother Watcher, have you listened to the conversation ever since you've been back?
I've heard bits of it. Is it just? I mean, what were we really touching on? Like just the sport as a whole, or?
Sports. Go, George.
Yeah, it's pretty much everything in sport because, like, the brother Underrated was talking about how the sport has evolved, how people are so against it, how they just have been turned off about it.
Oh yeah. Now I know what you're talking about. Like it was, yeah. I mean, well, first of all, Trilla's a joke. And for boxing fans to come out and say Jake Paul's a genius promoter. No, that's a rich white kid with divorced parents who had an easy upbringing, who went on YouTube and started vlogging and using that app Vine, and he got lucky in life. So don't you ever give credit to the little piece of shit kid whose brother made fun of a nation and made fun of suicide and all that. Okay? Don't support that because that's bullshit. And you're just turning on people. Okay? Even Floyd Mayweather. I think he's taking Logan Paul on Showtime, which is a good thing because he's not giving Triller that exposure because I think Triller's really bad. I think they're bad role models. They promote drug use. Their commentary sucks. They got guys that know nothing about the sport. And don't tell me Snoop Dogg knows about boxing because he doesn't know shit about boxing. Okay? that is catered to an audience of casuals that are young, young casuals. We got people out here that are fucking, 16 years old claiming that they know fucking Mike Tyson because he fought Roy Jones on Triller and all that. When Mike Tyson looked like damn Santa Claus, he looked 100 years old, and as did Roy. Ben Askren, he's a fraud as well, man. The fact that he went over there and he fell right into that trap. He led into it. Tyron Woodley's kind of falling into the same thing as well. And that shows me that he, near the end of his career, wasn't taking it seriously. Remember when he was going to fight Usman? On the Fox broadcast, he's like, "Oh, your performance against Dos was good, but I might break your arm." And then Usman was coming out saying, "Hey, you haven't signed the contract for us to fight. I've signed it. Why haven't you?" And Woodley was like, not denying it, bear in mind. And then the whole fucking lead up, Woodley acted like this guy was nothing. He acted like he was shit. He acted like he had no striking ability. He had people thinking that this was the easiest title defense out of Maya, Till, Thompson. You know what happened? He got his ass whooped. That to me was worse than the damn Marquette fight. Okay? And look at Usman now. He's got 4 motherfucking title defenses. Okay? He's fucking almost stopped everyone in those title defenses. Masvidal in the rematch. Fucking Colby, Burns, and hell, he wants to fight June. He's creating legacy. He's not got one foot out the door like all these guys who want to head off to Triller and promote some fucking brand, whether they're in MMA or whether they're in fucking boxing. It's a complete joke, man, and people shit on the sport because they see it as a gimmick now. They see it as a way of, anyone can do it. No, not anyone can do it. Okay? Like Aljamain Sterling, he got cheated, dude. Like, maybe he'll never be the same after that knee, So people that want to joke around about it, no, it's not a joke. This is serious and bad things can happen. You got cheaters. You got guys who avoid fights. You got promoters who like to give opportunities to other guys just because they got a mouth and they got a certain look about them. That's what people got to understand. They got to take it seriously. And that's why you got to appreciate guys like, Cormier and Usman and Adesanya and Ngannou because they represent well. Max Holloway, those guys, they represent the sport well,
And I never thought I could see one day that YouTubers get more money than the actual fighter.
Yeah, man.
That did it the hard way. That did it the hard way and the clean way. But YouTube. What? Yeah, I need to get in there, man. I want some of that piece of pie too. Why not?
Yeah, it is sad that you have a guy who's like 0-1 in the sport of boxing, and he's going to make $20 million to fight Floyd Mayweather, and you have guys who's been dedicated to the sport for years don't even still touch $1 million. That's sad. That's sad.
Yeah, I mean, there's a heavyweight. I forgot his name. He said in 7 years he's been fighting, he hasn't made $100K in his fucking whole career. Meanwhile, we got some piece of shit kid who really got away with what he did back in like 2018 or something, whenever the fuck it was. So yeah, I mean, like, it's a complete joke. I mean, you got guys like Tevin Farmer, they can't make money like that because of damn situations they've been in. The guys graft in the gym and everything. I mean, look at damn Sean Porter, underrated. Is he going to touch money like that again with the position he's, kind of put himself in?
Don't say it.
What I say to these pros, do not give, because really the Paul brothers, they are the problem, okay? Do not give them the exposure. Do not, if their name is mentioned, just act like you don't know who they are, because they don't deserve shit in life. They don't deserve to be in this sport. And I hope Floyd Mayweather stops Logan Paul because, you know, I want to see him fuck him up.
I read the, but I think and you know what, brother Watcher, you gave me a good idea. I'm gonna talk about this on the next underrated boxing talk. I think that is very important that we talk about the thing about boxing, and we could tie onto the MMA to it too. I think I'm gonna do a special on that. I think it's time. But also, I think one thing about Floyd Mayweather, I'm saying, why you can't give a brother some money?
Right.
You find a guy that they already privileged. And the people I know, people gonna talk about you have Floyd Mayweather. No, it's not about that. I'm happy getting all this money, but why you cannot get a brother a chance? You
Well,
fought Corey McGregor. I don't want to see that fool. I really didn't. It makes me sick to my doggone stomach. And then when I was watching the fight, I almost burned myself cooking. I don't want to see that fool.
You know what
He
pisses
makes
me
me
off?
damn sick.
You know what pissed
he
me
couldn't
off
give
is
Yeah.
you couldn't give
let me
Arislandi
just
Lara a shot though, could he? You couldn't give him a shot,
right,
you know?
right. But like
Right.
I said, what pisses me off about Mayweather is that Logan Paul losses to KSI. So why won't you give KSI a payday? But
Yeah.
we already know what Floyd's doing, and he's trying to cater to the white people. You know,
Let's
because
just remember this as well, okay? Because I've known KSI for a long time. I know people that know him. Now he is different. He, in my opinion, has had a very good contribution to the sport because in the UK, he has helped out people in youth programs and kind of, you know, the underprivileged and coaching them. He's done that shit for free as well, you know? And he beat Logan, right? And Floyd Mayweather wants to fight the guy that lost to him, right? And remember, KSI, he has Nigerian heritage as well, but I just find it very strange that he won't give like KSI a shot, you know, a brother a shot, essentially, because like, look, and this is probably crazy talk by me, but again, dude, KSI is a bigger risk than Logan. Okay. Logan's a fucking slow, clumsy individual, whereas KSI, he can fight. Okay, I've seen him sparring, and I'm not saying he's a world champion beater. I'm just saying, you know, maybe Floyd, you know, maybe he gets a cut in that fight, you know, and maybe that's. I'm not saying that will be a deciding factor. Maybe he just gets cut and he walks away with a victory, but he's got a nice little, you know, gash on his eyebrow. You see what I mean? Like,
nice little shine.
yeah, a nice little shine. So I'm just saying, you know, like I see what Floyd's doing, you know, and remember, Jeff Mayweather trained with KSI, and you know, Mayweather Senior. You know, he's kind of been under their tutelage, so you know, maybe there's a conflict there. But again, that is strange to me. You know, Arislandi Lara, you know, he was never going to get a shot at Floyd because there's a risk there. The style matchup is it's not suitable for Floyd. It's a guy that moves well. It's a guy that's precise. You know, like I said, that's the other problem. That's why people complained about Floyd so much because of who he picked. He mostly picked the Hispanic fighters who were flat-footed, who couldn't get to him. You know,
that's true. That's true.
And anybody remember that fight with Zab Judah? You know, that was somebody said that fight could have, if it wasn't for all that stuff that was going around with Roger arguing with Zab and all that stuff, the fight could have went a different outcome if Zab kept his composure. You know, yeah, because you know Zab, you know, he was. Some say that Zab was beating Floyd, but you know, Zab, he has that problem. Remember that time he choked the referee after the Costa Zoo fight, and I was saying, if Zab did this, Zab should have took the knee, took the 8 count. He would have beat Costa Zoo. Costa Zoo wasn't that good of a fighter. Costa Zoo was tough, but he just wasn't that good of a fighter.
So let me ask you brothers this question. Do you guys think now that these actual boxers will stop calling out YouTubers? Because it looks like it's headed that way. They might as well.
You know, it won't be long. You might start seeing who's that? Someone like PewDiePie getting called out by.
I'm gonna tell you one
Well,
thing. Let's go.
well,
I wait.
well, because like I said, that's the thing with Floyd versus Logan. Floyd has said, like, he goes like this. He goes, well, if you have a bigger follower and you're well known, you can make a lot of money. You know, that's what he's pretty much saying. You know, I mean, like I said, it won't be too long when you start to hear these boxers start calling out these YouTubers, you know, and not fight actual fighters anymore. You know,
Well,
so
you know,
why should
you know,
go
I
ahead,
just
Wally.
heard. Sorry to cut you off, but I just heard Floyd Mayweather's now he's filing a lawsuit of 160 million to some investors in Dubai that were guaranteeing money for the fight to be there, and it turns out they don't have the money. If you go to Phenom Boxing's YouTube page, you'll see that. So this is what I'm saying. You know, you're trying to make bullshit fights in this, especially, you know, during the COVID era, and this shit is happening. You know, when boxers are fucking calling out YouTubers, this is what happens.
I think it might be that same company to buy, because you know Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn are trying to start the fight between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury over in Dubai, because the fact that, you know, Tyson Fury doesn't have a fight license for Great Britain, and they're just trying to do the fight in Dubai. You know, but there's some issue. Well, I saw this. I think I was watching this thing. I was flipping through channels. I saw this thing, and there's this issues where there's something. I think it was something like copyright, something like that. I'm not sure the whole story of it, but you know, I think that might be the same company that Floyd's suing, and maybe that's the reason why, you know, Floyd's suing them, because whatever plan they had with them originally, they kind of, you know, they either nixing it, fudging it, or whatever, and they are just, you know, because that's where everything. I think, you know, UFC was doing Fight Island in Dubai, and I'm surprised they hadn't started doing another fighter. But now with some of these states here, like Texas and Florida and a couple other states opening up, you know, they're probably going to start having their pay-per-views in those states that I think they're opening up now, and then they're going to have their fight nights mostly in Vegas from safety matters. Because, like I say, you know, the thing, like I said, we're still dealing with COVID, and like I said, as you know, I do my channel on bodybuilding, and they just had a show, New York Pro, which is supposed to be done in New York, but New York is still not wanting to do any big shows just yet, so they have it in Tampa, Florida. And one of my friends, who's a female bodybuilder, who we were chatting, mentioned that when they had the Olympia down there last year, some bodybuilders got the COVID. And I even did one of my videos where I said, suggest you, if you're doing a contest in Florida, save yourself the trouble. If you're even backstage, wear a mask. If you're on stage with multiple people, wear a mask. If you're like, you know, if you just doing a solo routine, don't wear a mask. You just by yourself on the stage. But, you know, because you have social distancing. But when you're on stage with somebody, with a group of people, wear a mask for your safety's sake. I know the state says it's not, you know, they say, no, don't, people be picking out, you wear a mask. You know, the governor says everything's out there. I don't trust the governor. He's not a doctor. You know, especially their governor, Rick DeSantis. He don't know shit. He's a Trump kiss ass. I don't trust any of these people unless you are, you know, a doctor, a specialist, an expert. I am not taking no risk. I'm not risking my life, you know. And that's the thing is, you know, everybody should be really cautious about this situation, especially a lot of these boxers. I mean, well, there's a fighter right now, Amanda Rebus. She posted that fought 2 weeks ago, you know, and now she's still struggling. You know, she just caught. It's the second time catching disease, the second time, and she's still struggling. And she's young. And you think it's somebody young like that? This thing is awful, folks. Be smart, you know. And with these fighters and stuff, they gotta be careful. I know these guys are healthy, you know, but you gotta think about it. They're not 100%. You gotta think about it. All these years of fighting, you're gonna have some underlying problems, and all it takes is maybe, you know, maybe you had one time you had a fight, you got a punch in the lung. If you got any kind of issue, just a small little issue, yeah, it's gonna affect you.
Thank you. Let me get this in. Thank you, Ebo Sosa, for the super chat. Thank you. So he said, thanks for everything you do. We link up soon. Let me say this before we continue. Sometimes I do want to give up. I mean, I can say give up. Sometimes there's certain parts of my channel that I ain't want to do. Put it in the back burner and do something else. In comments like this, I'm just going to take out the finance part. By reading this, it keeps me going. It really keeps me going that I know that I'm doing something right. And I just want to, so I want to thank you, Ebo Sosa, wherever you have the time, brother. You know where I'm at. And I want to thank each of your brothers, well, you know, or later on Watcher, but I want to thank you, Brother George and Brother Gotcha, to come to me and to tell me that I should start a platform for MMA. I want to thank you for your constant support, and then even Brother Watcher, because I know Brother Watcher even before then. I want to thank you so much. And little by little, it's growing. It's not what we want to, but it is coming. And I just want to thank each and every one of y'all so much that y'all take out your busy time and mess with the underrated darkness. I mean the number one grinder, and even Brother Watcher that that you come to the sports, come to the boxing talk and even men's and stuff, because I want y'all to engage in the other phase too of my time, because next month I will start a sports show. I will let you know. So I'm gonna talk a little about basketball, about baseball, boxing, and MMA. And also I'm gonna do some historical content that deals with our people too. And I want your brothers to really be part of that. So I just want to let you know that I really appreciate y'all, and I want to thank you so much to keep this, because without y'all, there's no me, especially this MMA. So I want to thank you so much and everything. So y'all keep on going. Just want to add that.
Oh, but
Well,
we
because there's something in the news that's been going on now. It seems like John Jones and Dana White are beefing now because
They always been beefing. What's new? What's new?
Well, because Dana White has said that if John Jones don't want to get a fight, well, then he's going to move on from John Jones, man. You know what I mean?
Rightfully so. I mean,
yeah.
like let's be very clear here. He does not want to fight Ngannou. And this has been a thing of since like 2018. Like every time he's been asked, he's like, "Oh, I like big challenges. I definitely want that fight." Yeah, okay. And then Dana, Dana's look. I don't mind Dana, but sometimes he doesn't know what he's talking about, because he's like, "Oh well, if he doesn't want Ngannou next, then he gets the winner of Ngannou and Lewis." It's like how do we know Jones will fight any of those guys? He wouldn't even fight Miocic.
Right.
Do you think if Miocic beat Ngannou, do you think we'd be having this discussion right now? Because I think Jones will gladly fight Miocic. I don't think there would have been an issue. Like, give me 50 million, please cut me. Like, if there's a duck, that's a perfect example. And I don't blame Dana for coming out, because I think Jones, he doesn't want that fight. Because fights in the UFC, if guys want it, they make them. But, he doesn't want it, and he's not wanted it for a long time. You'll find in MMA, when people duck each other, it's really clear because there's not a lot of it. But when it happens, it's really clear.
Well, you know how it is with Dana. He's about the image that he presents as being Lord of the octagon, king of all great what is, and John Jones wants to fight for his worth. I can't honestly. If anybody you want to fight, you want to get paid really, especially you're gonna fight someone like Francis Ngannou. You want to get paid for getting beat up, But it's just up to him. I mean, if Stipe had won, I think he probably would have fought Stipe anyway. But more likely, I don't think he deserves a straight shot at Francis. He needs to work. Truthfully, right. I know it'd be a big payday for everybody, but I think John Jones got to work. He shouldn't. I mean, You know, I mean, I know. This is one thing I'm gonna mention. I'm a fan of Chris Cyborg. She went over to Bellator. She fought Julia Budd, but personally, I felt like she should have at least had maybe 1 or 2 fights before she got shot at Julia Budd. I feel like some people have to earn their position before they are given a position. You know.
Yeah, I believe like this that I really don't care about Don Jones. He's a popper. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. He's a professional popper. So I really don't care about him. I know he wasn't gonna fight him, but at the same time, I'm not gonna let Dana off the hook either. Again, and I ain't mean to bring it up, but look what he did to Tyron Woodley.
Right.
A champion.
You guys talked about that last weekend when I was listening to back. How
we didn't really get into it. So,
like I said, Tyron Woodley, he lost. Like I said, he lost his last 4 fights and he gets cut. But yet you still have Don Cerrone, who lost his last 6 fights.
Right.
And he's still fighting. You know,
he's not a champion.
No.
Right.
So when we talking about, because I think we're gonna do a special show, and I want to ask you a favor. I want to ask you I want to ask your opinion. I think we should talk about politics in MMA, in the hypocrisy on it, and the racism in it. How do you feel about that?
I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, Brother Watcher.
Oh yeah, definitely. We can touch on that.
Okay, good. Brother Escacha.
I mean, I'm in.
Okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to let you know when we're going to do. We're going to talk about this. Yeah, Black Star. I know you trolling. He said he trolled. He said MMA sucks. I'm trolling.
Yeah, and Errol Spence sucks. I'm trolling.
I'm trolling.
Yeah. Listen.
Tell Black Star to come on. Tell Black Star to come on the panel and talk, man.
Now he ain't gonna come on. No, but I want to keep it MMA. I want to keep it MMA.
Right.
Let's bless our haters, because you know what? For them, they have nothing else to do but hate on them, and we can't. And for us, we don't even like they know they exist.
Yeah,
I agree, man. Errol Spence, he does sucks. He sucks. Him.
Come on, man. No, come on now.
Nah. I'm gonna say this. Him and PBC suck. All of them, they all suck, man. They scared of Terrence Crawford. Let's just be honest. They just scared. They just scared of that.
You trolling,
no, man. You shouldn't have said that.
Nah. I'm being honest.
You scared of TC? No. I don't want to get off MMA. You know what? We go. This is what I'm going to do. If you want, I'm putting it out there right now. If you want me to set up the Underrated Boxing Talk number 25, if you promise to come on, we could talk about another boxing, but stick to boxing. I could do that. But other than that, we're gonna stick to MMA. Now go back to your point. Are you willing to do that show? What I'm just talking about.
Like I said, I'm in, man. But
okay, cool.
Like I said, I'm not. But like I said, I'm not really. Like I said, I'm not really much of a boxing guy anymore. Because, like I said, I lost so much interest in the sport, man. I just really did, man. I'm just sick of the foolishness in the sport. I'm sick of the shit, man.
No, I wasn't talking about that. I'm talking about what we talking about before, of the racism and the hypocrisy in MMA. Are you in with that?
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Okay, so all right. So this is what I'm going to do. I don't know I'm going to do it on my birthday, but it's going to be that week or the following week. What I'm going to do, I'm going to keep on. I'm gonna let you know this is gonna be on a Sunday. We're gonna talk about, because I want it to be a special. So I want y'all to promote it in your own way. I tell people to come about it and everything, because I think that it's time. I ain't gonna say it's big time, but I want to talk about it, and I think it's very, very important, because let's be honest, there's quite a few people knows what's going on, but they don't want to say nothing about it. But for us, we going to talk about it, and we're going to ruffle some feathers. So I'm letting y'all right now, we are going to talk about it. So if you're into your feelings, you into your panties, this is masculinity in here. Let you know right now, we don't deal with panties. The only panties we deal with women. We don't deal with guy panties. All right? We don't deal with none of. We don't do it. We don't do it. Grandma George. We don't do nothing like that. This is masculinity. This is masculinity up in here. Okay? We don't wear no damn wigs in here. This is masculinity right here. We don't put on no Chantel number 9 here. This is masculinity. Do you get it? So any of your fanboys and your fangirls, I'm telling y'all right now. Because if you're coming here, I'm going to let the brother, I'm going to tell him like this, hey, go ahead, get him. I'm letting you know right now. So wherever it is, that if you want to swim around and put on the dress and everything, this is not the place for you. Okay? We don't play them games. This is masculinity. This is heterosexual men. This is, we procreate, okay? We procreate, okay? We don't take shafts, okay?
Like in an old song say, you play pussy, you get fucked.
That's right. We don't get bum up the ass, okay? We just y'all supposed to stop me. Y'all no good.
No. This is not the booty warrior. It's like, I like you and I want you. We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Right.
The choice.
Right. Right. This is what I'm saying. This ain't no dead end street. Yo, that's it. See, y'all supposed to stop me. Y'all bad influence on me, man. Yeah, that's what Okay, what we going to do? If there's anything y'all want to add on until we close out, and brother Watcher, when we close out, don't leave yet. We want to say what's up to you. You be leaving fast and everything. You like rolling, yo. I said, God dang.
What we're gonna do the matchup? Our 2 matchups. This is episode 10.
Well, there's one matchup I want to bring up. You know that's gonna
okay. All right. Oh, let's do that. Let's do that before we close out.
Yeah.
There's one matchup that's gonna get announced, man. I know a lot of people don't like it, but it's the fight that makes the most sense. It's Francis Ngannou versus Derek Lewis. I believe in their second fight, we actually going to see some action this time. And I hate to say this, but I'm pulling for Derek Lewis. I think he could do it. He's just a funny dude, man. I would love to see Derek Lewis become champion, man. I think he's going to do it. Because he could match Francis with power, man. Yo, and like I said, Francis a little reckless. He's real reckless, but I think Derek Lewis can catch him.
You know what, Scotcha? I'm with you. Doggone it, because everybody told me Derek Lewis. Oh, I'm going to tell you like this. Come on, we got to get credits due. When Lewis connect, they sleep. We got to get, come on. They sleep. Oh, he put this guy so bad. He went to sleep like he was sleeping like a little baby. I was like, yo, I never seen a guy like he knocked out and he had his 2 arms on his chin. On his chest sleeping. I said, yo, that is sad, yo.
Remember that Volkov
That
fight?
was Curtis Blades. That was Curtis Blades when he hit Curtis when Curtis was trying to shoot for the takedown. He hit him with his uppercut and then he donkey conned him twice on the ground. Like I said, I like Derek Lewis, but I just hate that when like the guy is already stiff, he's already knocked out. There's no need for you to hit him 2 times when he's already out, man. I hate that shit, man. The guy's already out. He's already dead. Right. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I don't like about Derek Lewis. That he adds too much unnecessary shots, man. He don't need to be doing that, man. But like I still think that he could match Francis with power because, like I said before, Francis is a little too reckless, and it's going to catch up to him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead, brother Watcher.
Derek, for me, isn't very good. I mean, if you look at who the guy beat, and I see Black Star in that chat, I'll address that in a minute. But you know, like, look, the unnecessary. Look, remember, this guy went to prison. Okay, so you know he's not quite. I don't know what he went for, but I think he hurt someone. So you know he kind of enjoys doing that. Like he will he will hit you after the bell. I've seen that before. He will hit you in the back of the head multiple fucking times without warning. With warning, either one. And he is a very.
Who you talking about?
I'm talking about Derek Lewis.
Okay, I got you. I just want to
Derek,
make sure.
look, the only way Ngannou loses is if he fights him like he did with Rosenstrike. And I won't have sympathy. I like Ngannou, but I don't have sympathy for people that if they lose like that, going out there with your chin up, swinging like a madman. And Derek Lewis, you know, those extra 2 shots after the Curtis Blades fight. I mean, look, Anderson Silva didn't give you extra shots. Edson Barboza doesn't give you extra shots. You know, have the courtesy. Because like I said, it's different when it's coming from someone like a heavyweight, you know. But, yeah, you know, man, Black Star, he's going off.
Yo, he's trolling, man. Yo, stop trolling. Man. I'm not about, yo, this is MMA, man. It's not boxing, man. And I already did the mukbang about 2 hours ago. Come on, man. You trolling, Black Star, man. We gotta talk, man. Yo, you want something to drink, man? Something like that? We gotta talk, man, because you stay trolling. Yeah, but I'm saying that, I would guess gotcha, man. I want Derrick Lewis to win. I really do.
Really? Man, he's terrible.
I really do because Frank, he do sweet. I understand what you're saying, but I'm just saying, Francis, he swing wow. He do. He's not disciplined.
Well, if you guys look at his fight with Stipe Miocic. He got hurt in that fight before Stipe standing in the booth with them, and then he knocked out Stipe. You know what I mean? Like I said, he can't do that with Derek Lewis because Derek Lewis has the same amount of power like Francis Ngannou. He can't rush into that fight. If you guys remember the first time they fought, Francis was gun shy because he was scared of he was scared of Derek Lewis' power. That's why their first fight was lackluster.
Well,
but go ahead, watch.
Well, I think Derek Lewis, he said he had a sore back, which is a dumbass excuse because, look, both guys were to blame for that anyway. But the point being is that, Derek is a pain in the ass, and I used to like him. I don't like him anymore. But you know who else can get it? Kevin Holland, because that guy is a fucking sore loser, and he literally is the biggest smartass in the world. I mean, he has taken shots at Usman saying, "Oh, well, you can't claim Texas. You're from Nebraska and this and that. Oh, you can't claim you're Nigerian." Dude, he was born in a village in Nigeria. You were in fucking high school, fucking throwing chairs through windows, getting in damn trouble. And you got your ass whooped twice in a row now. Because you're making excuses, because you're going to the jewelry shop and buying all your bling bling and buying all your fucking vape stuff or whatever that crap is and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And you want to make fun of Vittori and Brunson because they wrestled you, because they picked you up like a fucking rag doll and slammed you on the fucking floor. And remember, this dude was complaining about wrestling. Well, maybe learn to defend takedowns. Maybe put submission threats up. Maybe do work in the gym. All I see him doing in the gym is some fucking cable rows. That's all I see, dude. Like, he's just doing that and hitting pads. I never see this dude, improve. He hasn't improved at all. I mean, he wants to say that he got humped, but his fucking eye was almost shut against Vittori, So, no, he should shut his mouth, dude. And he wants to move down to 170. Like, that will make a difference. That's what you call a weight bully. It's too hard up there at middleweight. So if I move down to welterweight, it will be easier, And I don't like Usman. I have a personal vendetta against him. So, I'm going to move down. And I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Yep. You said that many times, dude. And this is why Dana White doesn't like Kevin, because he talks a lot of shit and he can't fight, it turns out. You know? Look at what happened when he stepped up in levels, right? Look at what happened. All the guys he beat that, he fucking punched and they went down in the first round, second round. That ain't happening anymore. It ain't happening because you're in with the big boys now. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
So he is one of those guys that are fools and they get washed, Seriously, I can't stand fighters like that, And he's not an old guy either. He's young.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bon Cooper, does Mayweather count as MMA? No, he's not. That's what I'm saying. Tonight we talking MMA. I know that you hear about boxing, but what we talk about is the connection of MMA. But this is MMA talk tonight.
Well, there's one thing I want to bring up before we go, because we was talking about this on Coach's channel. George Page, you know where I'm heading. There was this fighter from China. Her name is Jean Valet, and she came out and she was talking about how the booze is the reason why she lost to Rose Namajunas. And like I said, I hate this shit when fighters blame shit for losing a fight, but yet they don't want to take 100% responsible for why they lost the fight. They don't want to admit that that fighter was better than them. And that was what it was that night. Rose Namajunas was better than Jean Valet because Jean Valet has a style where she fights reckless. And when you fight Rose, you can't fight reckless because Rose Namajunas has power. She has shown that out throughout her career, But like I said, Willian, Jean Valet, whatever the hell you want to say her goddamn name, she just made excuses. And like I said, it showed how mentally weak she was because she ends up copying the same hairstyle as Rose Namajunas. You know what I mean? I just hate that shit where fighters now that they make excuses and then they want to diminish the other fighter's victory, so they could get sympathy. Like I said, Jean Valet, she should have taken the loss. She should have regrouped and work her way back into the work her way right back to the top. But now, like I said, she's coming out and say, well, if we have fought in a non neutral crowd, the result was a bit different. No, it's all about style. Like I said, Jean Valet's style was food for no, how can I say it? Her style was tailor-made. Tailor-made for Rose, and we saw the results. She ends up getting knocked out. But like I said, she needs to cut this shit out, man. I hate fighters who do that shit. You got knocked out, regroup, and work your way back up to the title. Stop asking for a rematch. Work your way back up to the title. I hate this shit, man. Go ahead, watch it.
Well, to be honest, I mean, and I agree with what you said. Remember Andrade went to China, and she that was her first defense. Okay, she did Zhang Weili a favor. Okay, she was getting online abuse, like cyberbullying, right? So she said the same fucking thing. It's like coming full circle, But here's what happened in that fight. You made a wrong read on the strike. You got head kicked, and you got knocked the fuck out. It's really that simple. I mean, there's not much more to it. I don't get why they say this. Usman got booed severely. He was getting called all kinds of racial slurs in that crowd. When he was walking out, when his name was getting announced, he was getting booed when he got a fucking takedown. I don't get that. He could deal with it, but you couldn't. And Usman is more well known. So there's more eyes on him for people to hate. But guess what? He got the job done, but you couldn't. You know why? He just wasn't good enough. And it happens. It's all good. Losing is part of the sport. But don't come out here and say, oh, the crowd. Dude, Usman has fucking fought. Who's the guy he fought? Emil Mick, right? He was getting booed there. When he fought Tyron Woodley, he was getting booed. There's been a couple other fights where he's been getting booed. So, it's a bullshit excuse, really. I hate hearing it. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
it's just crazy. Like even do that, that's the same way. At 261, Usman got booed, but you know what? He ate it up. He took the booze, and you can't use the crowd as I think some people like as as XA we talk about coaching. XA talk we mentioned over here at Coach's channel that Joanna Jacek she said she won't come back till the crowd comes back, but that's not up to you. You are a fighter. Your job is to fight whenever it's time for you to fight. You can't pick whenever it's time you fight. If they want to tell you, hey, you got to fight, you're gonna fight here. We're gonna fight here in Vegas, no crowds. That's it. And you have nothing to say about it. You either do your job or you can get the fuck out. That's the it of it. And with Jean Relay, she has to really, she was on a 21 fight winning streak. And when Chris Cyborg, she lost to Amanda Nunes. She didn't go blaming anybody. She didn't go, whining, crying. She didn't go cut her hair and look like Amanda Nunes. She accepted her loss. She went out and she was campaigning for a rematch, which is fair, which she should have been doing. And then what happened was because of somebody with whatever reason, somebody did something with the video, whatever. Then White being his feelings, let her go. And let her go a great fight that could have happened, a great rematch that could have happened.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that, Escacha. I meant to erase mines.
Right, because like I said, I wrote it wrong. He was not he's not a middleweight. He's a welterweight. So that's my
Right.
bad.
Yeah. Okay. No, I erased it by mistake, but I put it back. Yeah, that's what I mean. The welter. That's what I meant to tell you. Okay. All right. So this is what we're going to do. Watcher. When I said, when I make my last remarks, just please stay. Don't run, okay? I want to talk. Man. I know you want to. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I stayed last time, and then
No, you
I
left.
don't know. I forgot.
No, you
you're
left.
gone.
You were gone.
You're ghost by the time we went out.
Right?
He was ghost.
Yeah, shit, I can't remember, but all right, yeah, no problem. I'll stay.
Alrighty.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this is what we're going to do. Escalcha, you gonna be second to last, and then I gonna make this. We're gonna do. We're gonna do George. You're gonna make your last remarks. Brother Watch, you're gonna make your last remarks. Then Escalcha, then me, and all four of y'all stay right there. Don't go nowhere, cause I want to talk to you. Talk to you about something, and that's it. All right, go ahead.
Okay, me.
Yeah, you
All right.
first.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, thank you. All right. Anyway, anybody, if you follow, there's some big things coming up, especially this weekend. Chris Cyborg is defending her title against the Peacemaker. Leslie Smith. She already beat her about 5 years ago in UFC. I don't know why having this fight for. I think because the Peacemaker's stepping up. I respect Leslie Smith. I follow her on social media. And she's stepping up because other people are too afraid to speak Cyborg's name. They act like she's Lord Voldemort from the Harry Potter movies and the book. And also Invicta, if you follow Invicta, they are making their debut on Access TV, which means they'll no longer be holding under UFC and UFC Pass. So if you're a fan of women's MMA, check that out. Also, check out my channel. My channel is growing. I'm already at about 430 subscribers. I appreciate all the people who subscribe to my channel. I love doing my content, especially I love, I just did an interview last week with a female bodybuilder from Watchers Next to the Wood from Australia. And it was fun to do that. That's the first, she's a physique competitor, but that's the first competitor I get out of the country. That's so great. And I enjoy doing this with y'all brothers. I mean, having fun. We're talking about MMA. We're picking on these haters, these trolls, and and it's just so fun in doing this.
All right, brother Watcha from Da Under.
Yeah, I'm glad to get on today because we hit some good topics, and I think we're gonna hit more good topics relating to MMA and probably join it in with boxing and all that. But yeah, it was good chopping it up, man. I really enjoyed that main event yesterday, and it's good to have a new champion. You know, it should make for some real exciting matchups in the future. And yeah, man, I'm gonna keep my eye on things because you know, hopefully we get more good matchups and more good events.
Okay, good. Okay, Escacha, last remarks, please.
First and foremost, I want to thank you, brother Underrated, for bringing this topic for the world MMA on your channel because, like I said, we need to talk more about MMA, man. We got to get the word out and etc. But like I said, I want to thank you, brothers, for having the time to come talk to me. Like I said, I'm happy that I'm now back on YouTube, you know, because, you know, I was on suspension, but we're not going to go into that. But like I said, I just want to say, but like I said, though, I also had hit 1,000 subscribers on the channel. And basically, I'm close to now. I'm just waiting for YouTube to monetize my channel so now I can at least make some money on this damn thing. So at least I can have a second income. But once again, I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you to you, brothers, for this good afternoon talk that we have. I can't wait to be talking about more next week because there's an event coming up. I don't remember who's fighting, but there's an event coming up. But like I said, it's good to see that the 4 horsemen are back now.
Thank you.
So let's hope that none of us don't go away and we don't cause no more that none of us don't get in trouble. Which I'm trying not to get in trouble on this damn site.
Okay. All right.
Like you said thank you. Like I said, I just want to say thank you all for having time to come and talk this MMA. Like I said, we just getting started and there's more content in the future. So stay tuned, everybody.
Thank you very much. Now I'm going to say this. Welcome back, Escacha. We miss you. Miss your presence. Thanks for coming back. These are the same brother. Most likely you will see in it in the near future. But like I said before, the politics of MMA, that's going to be sometime next month. So I would say that's going to be serious. It needs to be talked about. So I urge people, listen to the clouds, have people to come to and listen to MMA, and even the other MMA sports talks is very important. I want people to support the boxing too and stuff like that. But this is the underrated MMA sports talk number 10. So we're looking for some more people to come through and hopefully engage too. It's very, very important. So again, please be safe out there around the world, especially us as a people. You know, the climate is crazy. If you're going to travel, safe to your destination or home. Make sure you travel safely and smartly. Make sure you travel in groups. It's very, very important. And I want your brother to stay right there. Don't go nowhere. Let me end this. On behalf of my channel. Oh, let me forgot to say this. If y'all want anybody that wants to donate, it's right here. Cash App. It's $ capital JT 53000. Also paypal.me/JT Black 53. If you want to donate, that'd be greatly appreciated. Okay. So again, be safe. Be safe out there. On behalf of my underrated darkness, yours truly, the #1 grinder. This is the end of the underrated MMA sports talk number 10. Until next time, this one is Ghost.